Okay, our next athlete is Taylor. This is a little bit different type athlete compared to Hunter. This is a girl who dominated at the middle school level. I don't think she lost the race in middle school. Three-sport athlete, middle school, volleyball, basketball, track. Also someone who, first day of practice freshman year is already thinking about college track and just track. Super excited about it. Real solid 400 meter time. 61.5 in the 8th grade. First thing you want to look at is, even though you got someone who seems to already be doing everything right and having a lot of success, she's still just a freshman. Don't assume that there's not just as many areas that she can improve in. Where that starts, race distribution. I think she was running her first 200 too fast. Mechanics, she's still in college now, still has that little bit of a forward lean we need to work on. Strength, even though she was a sprinter, she's kind of built like a cross-country runner. Effort, trains too hard. She wanted to basically just race every day in practice, and just every time she was running, she wanted to run as fast as she could. Just so excited, and also willingness to try new events. She had then, I think, every meet in middle school it was the 100, the 200, the 400, and the 4x4. Every meet for 2 years. So wanted to kind of change that up, and explore some other options, see if there's some other places where she might be able to have more success. And then learning how to lose. You don't want to get an athlete to where the first time they're ever trailing in a race is the state finals. So you have to prepare them for that on the mental side of things. I'm real big on if we have more than one meet in a week. Sometimes our schedule just forces that. I only load up one of them, and the other one I take it easy and maybe do some other events, or maybe do just maybe have her do just the 4x1 and the 100, and take the meet off from the 400. I think you really can over race, and in a lot of ways, the better you are, the harder those races can be on your body. Just you're competing at a higher level, and it's just a higher intensity. So you need to be careful about over racing with your stars. Pressure to win. She's won. So she won state as a freshman in 4A for us, and I don't think anyone went out of their way to put pressure like you got to do it again. But it was just kind of there and built in with her personality that, well, I did it last year, I should do it again this year. And so heading into freshman year or sophomore year, there was just, I think it came probably more from her than anybody else, at least, maybe it was subconscious or she felt from other people, but that there was a pressure to win. So for freshman year, it's I hope I can win. Sophomore year, it's like I better win. And just kind of dealing with that pressure and just kind of explaining that, no, all you have to do is your best. That's all you ever have to do, and that'd be great if that wins again, but there's no reason you have to win. And choosing events, one thing we tried, a couple of years, we tried to in the 800 a little bit just to kind of see. We had a athlete before I was even in high school who I would say was a closet distance runner. She was a solid freshman sprinter and then a state champion 3200 runner as a sophomore. So I tried to cheat Taylor up in a couple meets and just try to see. We never went beyond the 800, which she did run low 230s off of no training, but it did seem clear that 400 meter range was where her strength lied. So psychology side, I think hurdles. So as a freshman, we talk about being willing to try new events. So as a freshman, I was already starting to talk to her about the hurdles and that, hey, you had some great speed, but you're going to get to where, at the state level and the college level, there's going to be a lot of girls that are just as fast or faster. And so if you could learn to hurdle, you've now just cut out all those fast girls that aren't willing to hurdle. And now you're just against the sprinters or the hurdlers who are willing to hurdle. And maybe you're faster than them. So, and she fought it. So I even kind of teased that she was going to be the first girl to win state in the 400 just so she didn't have to learn to hurdle. And so we kind of punted that. We're heading in the middle of sophomore year. I kind of just on kind of an easy day at the end of the track season, and I said, of course, it's still in the back of my mind that she needs to be hurdling, and we just kind of geared the workout that day to like, okay, all sprinters are going to go over and just play around on the hurdles. And sure enough, she goes over them seamlessly the first time, says, that's fun, I didn't know I could do that. Like 2 days later, we put her in the 300 hurdles at our freshman-sophomore league meet, and she runs 47.5, wins it out of the slow heat, and we now have out a hurdler. So we didn't make the change. We didn't make a change or anything that year. She wins state in the open 4 again, and junior year she was doing a little bit of both hurdling and running the 400. It's just too tough of a combo, especially she had migraine issues and things, so we weren't able to ever try a 300, 400. Actually, we did try a 300, 400 double in a couple meets, and it wasn't going to work for to be able to get out of our tough regionals, we didn't think. Sports psychology for Taylor junior year is we're at a mid-season meet, and it's the 100-meter dash. And again, I mentioned she's always just so excited to run, and not that she gets super tight, but it's definitely an issue, and she needs to worry about relaxing more, running her race, and that's something we'd always kind of talked about. So we're heading into a mid-season meet, the 100-meter dash finals, and there's a girl from a smaller local school who's a stronger, more successful sprinter, and not even a girl that does the same events exactly as Taylor. And so heading into the 100-meter dash final, I said, I don't want you to try to run fast. And she looks at me like I'm an idiot because it's the 100-meter dash. What do you mean don't try to run fast or don't run fast? And I said, no, you're going to run fast. Don't try to run fast. Just do what it's just like 100 KU relays we talked about. So just do what you need to do on the track, turn your legs over, stay relaxed, and you're going to go fast. Don't worry about trying to run fast. And the phrase we kind of came up with is I wanted her to concentrate on just the sound of her spikes hitting the track, and that quick tap off the track. We called it thuppa thuppa. Just thuppa thuppa. Just think light, quick feet. Don't worry about trying to drive or trying to run fast. And she actually did beat that girl and ran one of her fastest. It was a hand time, but she ran one of her fastest 100-meter dashes ever. Flash forward to state that year, and so junior year, we are down in 3A now, and let's see, she's in state in the 4x1, 100, 200, 400. So in the 400 final, of course, she's defending 4A state champ, but we knew there's some other girls that were going to challenge her and actually had better times on the season, and had actually beat her the week before, or wanted to beat her the week before regional. She beat the other girl. And anyway, so in the 400-meter final, she's in third in the last 100 meters, and she's straining so hard to try to catch the girl in second, and just fading like crazy, and fourth place almost catches her. So had the conversation with her at state, reminding her of the 100-meter dash where she just ran her race and just relaxed. I said, okay, you get the 200-meter final coming up, it's your last race. That's what you have to do. I know it's state. It's the same thing. You have to just run your race, thuppa thuppa. Don't worry about driving. Just do your thing. And so in the 200 final, she's sitting with about 50 meters to go, she's probably 5th or 6th, and she just stays relaxed, ignores the other girls, ends up second, as all of them just basically are just celebrating a little bit more than she is because she was nice and relaxed. And those points ended up making the difference, and we were state runner-up on the team side, and that second place versus her, if she would have finished 6th, made all the difference. It was so low scoring and tight that moved us basically out of the trophies into second place and state runner-up. And I would like to think that senior year is when it all came together, and she had 5 golds total. She won 3 golds her senior year, the 100, the 200, and the 300 hurdles. We did make the switch to hurdling, an impressive 44.93 in prelims, and we won the team state title. And I think a lot of that was, just making sure we had all of our ducks in a row. It wasn't even as much about the training as it was about just mentally preparing her to be able to go out and get the most out of her ability. And so again, the lesson here with Taylor is thuppa thuppa, stay relaxed, do your thing. And update 2, she's now at Southwestern College in Winfield, Kansas, where she's a 3-time NAIA national runner-up, twice in the 400 hurdles, once in the indoor 600, with a sub 60-second PR in the 400 hurdles.